All right, Ruthless fans, it's great to do these videos again since the show's back on the air. And shout out to everyone who has checked out my episode 7 review. Guys, just a friendly reminder, a couple of days ago, Ruthless episode 7 did become available on BET Plus. So yes, the show is back with new episodes every week after their, a 2-week or 3-week hiatus. But in any case, if you watch my review, you know that, and I'm not going to say I didn't like the episode. It really didn't do much for me. I think episode 7 was probably the weakest episode of the series so far, which says a lot. To have 6 strong episodes, but then kind of a dud. It was somewhat set up, but if you want my full thoughts on the episode, definitely watch my review on it. Trust me. But aside from that, this particular video is going to be talking about Poke, the deputy who I believe, and I think Chandler told me, because at first, the sheriff's wife, cousin, son, but then Chandler was like, no, it was the sheriff's wife's cousin, and he said son, as in, son to Brian, like, hey, let me help you out there, son, that kind of thing. But yeah, basically Poke is kind of jealous of Brian, coming in and kind of like stepping on his beat, so to speak, or his territory, or the Rakudushi's being his case, but then him being, feeling, I guess you could say, inadequate because the sheriff decided to take Brian to the compound instead of himself. And if you could just give me one moment, I need to look at my notes from the episode. What is the name of the female officer at the police station? Because I know Poke was mad, saying he's going to go up there despite the fact that the sheriff said he and Brian were going. But what is her name? It's in my notes. I can't find it at the moment. Just bear with me. Was it Leslie? Was it whatever, the female officer. But in any case, remember that the highest was talking with the sheriff. This was when Andrew was with Brian, walking around the compound, seeing William, the young man who took the truck. And, Andrew was showing him around, and Daikon showed up when he wanted to see the containers. But in any case, the sheriff was talking with the highest, and I think Tally, the elder mother, and Ruth were sitting there as well. And basically, the highest was like, oh, I thought there'd be more. What do you mean? Thought you'd bring reinforcements. No, we're just over here to check things out. So really, when you get to the end of the episode, when Tally was making a scene, because remember, she told Brian, I want to make a scene, but you can see me in the market on Thursday and we'll talk. Basically, the fact that Brian asked, were people being held against their will? She said no, and he kept badgering. And then the high's like, okay, I think you overstayed your welcome, and they leave. So despite the visit going well, they left on bad terms. And then if Poke pokes his head somewhere he shouldn't by going to the compound, and keep in mind, it is very possible that on their way back to the police station, Brian and the sheriff cross paths with Poke as he's going there, so they might stop in the middle of the road and talk. I don't know. But if Poke decides to just go, there on his own accord, I don't think that's going to be a good thing, because of the fact that, again, Brian and the sheriff left on kind of a sour note with the Rakudushis. So the highest might be like, well, I thought they weren't bringing reinforcements. And he seems a bit paranoid, and I will be doing another video because I don't know if the highest was in his best form, so to speak, this previous episode, based on the conversation he had with the elder mother as he was getting prepared for the outsiders to come visit. And remember, he was all shaky and sweaty. So basically, he's kind of been paranoid. So if Poke shows up, I don't think he's going to leave such a good impression. And remember, until Tally and Brian orchestrated that scene or that show they were putting on, the sheriff and Brian were pretty much welcome. And, as they said, they didn't see anything that was suspicious. Everything checked out. Just make sure you take care of the kids, and that's it. But other than that, I really feel like Poke, with his demeanor, might be more in their face, rude, and, Poke being Poke, I think it would be ironic because, once again, and I know this is bad because I usually don't do this, but I really need to go into the notes to find, episode 6, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because 6 comes before 7, stupid Jeremy. But yeah, I know I spoke to myself in third person there. But basically, remember in episode 6 when Poke was at the store getting a sandwich from the deli section, and he ran into some of the Rakudushis. It was like 3 or 4 females, and the man, because I know that, dang it, what is the name of these characters? Because of the fact, oh, here we go, I found it. Episode 6. It was Poke was ordering some food, and I think Manny was the name of the Rakudushi member who was talking with Dale, who I believe is the gay worker at the deli, because Poke was an asshole to him, saying that, you know, I'm not like that, just give me the damn sandwich. So basically, what if Poke goes to the compound and sees Manny, because Manny would be somebody he recognized at the store. Not to mention, on top of that, it was the young female, I think Celine, oh, hang on, I forgot. Basically, it was the young cult member, it was the female who gave Poke her phone number. So what if Poke shows up, and remember, Manny said that she was going to be punished. So what if Poke showing up to the compound leads to that girl being, you know, very, very punished? Because remember that in the opening theme, you had that young girl screaming like, ah, because it looks like her face is being bruised or, you know, mutilated. So I feel like Poke showing up is going to cause more harm than good. Maybe not for himself, but maybe because he sees like, hey, you're that young girl I saw on the market. So I feel like that's going to lead to her punishment. That's what I think. And remember, since Poke is going to just show up unannounced, you could make the argument that the sirens will go off and alert the compound that, hey, another outsider is coming, and it's Poke. So I feel like Poke either will get into some shit, or his presence there will cause a lot of tension. And the irony would be if he takes one of a sandwich or something like that, because of the fact that, remember, he was an asshole to Dale when he was at the deli getting a sandwich. So for him to actually consume some of the food prepared by the elder mother, that could be a problem, because of the fact that it could be one of the sandwiches from the basket that, you know, the sheriff took from the elder mother. Or he can get his own sandwich there while he's poking around, and then he gets into some trouble as a result. So I feel like Poke showing up to the compound is not going to be good for anyone. And I also think when it comes down to it, you also need to think about the fact that the Highest is definitely not in the best of moods due to how Brian was, I guess you could say, badgering Tally for information about whether or not people were being held there against their will. But with that being said, I think that about wraps things up for this video. Yes, I have a few more videos like this that need to get done. Oh, Irene. Irene is the name of the female officer that Poke was talking to, saying he's going to go up there. He doesn't care because it's his beat. So make sure you like this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Also, hit the bell notification icon if you haven't done so already. That way you don't miss out on any new content. You can donate to the channel on PayPal or Cash App, or if you could join the Patreon for as little as $2 a month for content on there that I don't post here on YouTube, I'd very much appreciate it. So with that being said, follow me on social media. Links to all that good stuff is in the description below, and I'll talk to you all later.